I've been coming back here for about 5 years now, and it's a little bit of almost a mystery tour where each time we come there's another piece of a puzzle, and each puzzle piece tells a part of a story that's beginning to emerge with increasing intent, I believe, on God's part. He gave many people an amazing expression of a visitation and awakening. And the more I've come back and the more people trust us in why we're asking them the questions, the more they're willing to entrust to us part of their story. And there was very clearly a story that took place when people began to plead before the throne of God.
Well, before this revival came up, this place was really spiritually, dead, totally. There were alcoholics, drunkards, and everything else. But then this movement started.
I remember my father was converted in a revival in 1926. Now that was in the north of Harris, and days were very dark then, and people had no concern for their souls. But then this revival came. There was a little prayer meeting in one little village, and people were so busy with harvest work and things like that, Christian people, and there was very few attending the prayer meeting, and it went right down. And the prayer meeting was taken by one of the elders, and he said, next week I'm going to say there'll be no more prayer meetings until all the harvest work is over. But he couldn't say it that night. He just could not. He was kept back from saying it. He said, next week I'll definitely have to say it next week, because there was just 2 or 3 people in the prayer meeting. So the next week when he went back to the prayer meeting, there was 5 or 6 people. So, he said, I'm not going to say anything now, there's more people come in. And the following week, revival broke out. See, it's easy to give up.
And I remember my father actually telling me that he was standing at the gable end of a house. Do you know what the gable end means? The end of a house up in the village here, and looking down to the main road here. And suddenly, he was aware that something was happening inside him.
Suddenly, it's as if they all lost their embarrassment. We've heard stories of people walking in the fields, praying, walking down the roads, praying, into their day-to-day life situations, praying inside the church, yes, and outside the church. And all the stories are slightly different, yet they all have the same cohesiveness, that God asked these people to ask him a question. Will you come and visit us? And he said, yes, I will, and he did.
It went out to the whole community. Everybody felt it. It doesn't matter whether they were Christians or no. Everybody was going to the meetings. They would have an urge, praying people behind them, and the Lord was listening, and the people were going out to the prayer meetings, whether they were Christians or no. And a lot of them were converted just by listening to some of the people who wanted them to go out.
People were so full of praise, and they really wanted to praise, and it just poured out of them. And I had one friend who was saved in the 1949 revival. She's not with us anymore, but she composed a lot of hymns herself, but she couldn't do it any time she wanted to do it. The words just came to her, they were just divinely inspired. And she never ever wrote one of them down. And she remembered them all by heart. And they are beautiful. And I know I have heard stories of revival when people walking the road would hear the singing, and they would know that the people were revived because of the life in the singing.
For everyone who was in that revival, there was something in the singing. Well, something as if it just came down from heaven. You couldn't describe it. There was something in it that I can still tell the people who were in the revival. See what they're singing. There's something in their singing that you can't hear from the ordinary person. And one night there was a certain man praying. It was open meetings, but there was never any scarcity of people getting up to pray. One night a certain man was praying, and he was seeing a white dove resting on people's head, naming them one by one. I was in the meeting that night, and he was naming them one by one, and they were all converted that night. They would be lying on the floor, crying out to the Lord to have mercy upon them. But the ones that were lying on the floor there, you would see Christ in their face. You would know that they were with Jesus, for their face was just shining it was. We knew they were with the Lord.
And there were groups of people here and there all across the different islands that suddenly began to participate with a kind of a divine orchestration. Some began to tell us about the amazing expression of the heavenlies opening up. Some began to sense God saying, all right, ask me now and I'll give you the answers that you want. I'm willing to hold court with you.
During the revival, it was unique, no other word for it, in its fullness. Before we had maybe minutes of it, but then we had hours of it. Day and night, whenever you woke up, the presence of the Lord was there. When you went to your bed, the presence of the Lord was there.
However, they've also encountered God as this blast from heaven, this incredible surge of power.
And one of the houses shook in honor there when they were praying. The house shook, presence of the Lord, power of prayer and the presence of the Lord. Even the houses were shaking.
Whether they see his profound divinity coming as a gospel ship, which a whole lot of them saw at one point, and they all saw this ship, which has been seen only a very few times in history, so I'm told.
Another night as we left, we saw in the open field a ship as if it was a navy ship, all lit up between the masts and everything. But we knew it wasn't real, for it was on dry land. It was on dry land. We couldn't say a word. None of us could even speak. Be still and know that I am God. That's all we could say.
Or whether it's a house that shakes with prayer, or whether it's light coming out of the skies like electricity, and as one of them said, it's a bit like Paul on the Damascus Road. That was his revelation.
Crowds walking on the road, lights would be round them. They'd be surrounded by lights. Ships passing by felt the presence of the Lord. They were telling us that many of the sailors in question time, they used to give their testimony. A lot of them would be saying that they felt the presence of the Lord even going around the island.
There's been a revival here in the 20s, the 30s. There's been a generational seeding. It's as if the promises of each generation was then passed on to the next generation. And something of the nature of God is He knows who He can count on to test the promises, to be a tripwire of change, and suddenly release the promises into the present generation. I believe we're seeing this now, in fact.
Yes, I think the power of prayer is unquestionable. And I think the prayers of those that have passed on are now being answered. It's not just the prayers of the present.
I've got contacts in Hewes and Skye and these places, and they are all as well praying for revival.
There's a new wave of young people who have no embarrassment about praying, no embarrassment about coming together. If you took that truth and you went back into the era preceding the 20s revival, then the 30s, then the 40s, it's almost like we hear a tape recorder playing the same thing over and over again.
You know, I was amazed. I was in Calvary Church last Sunday, and the number of young folk professing Christ at the Lord's table was absolutely astonishing. There were more teenagers there than there were old folk.
And what's more remarkable for me, the seeds of those awakenings, particularly that 49, 50, 53 one, that's going around the world, which means in a case of people who are not complex, they just have a lovely, simple faith. There's a profound encounter with God, and He then takes the fruit of that encounter, and it's like He sends it to all the world with more than a divine suggestion, and He says, this is what it's like. If people will come and spend time even on their knees, and they will meet with me, I will meet with them.
I don't believe that it's God's heart for us to be complacent, that He does really want us to live in revival.
And they know in their hearts that as they're praying again now, in the same way they were praying just before that 48, 49 era, they have felt the intensity of God as much now as it was then. And some have said to me, it's actually, we're feeling it more now than we did back then, and we recognize the familiar tune from heaven when God's just about to release His glory in our lives again.